The following game has been rated M for mature by the ESRB for blood and gore and intense violence. That means that the content in the game is only appropriate for those age 17 and up. So if you are younger than that age group, you should not be watching the following video. You have been warned. Greetings and salutations. I am Outlier, and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is, of course, my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we are going to be playing Middle-earth: Shadow of War. Well, there's a variety of reasons. One, I've played this game before and I've quite enjoyed it, and generally meant to always come back to it, but like many of the other games I've played and then put down, never did. Yes, there's also that reason as well. So the premise of this game, much like its predecessor, Shadow of Mordor, is that you play as an undead human ranger possessed by the spirit of a long-dead elf. Yes, I know that sounds crazy. It's Middle-earth. Just go with it. And you're in the land, country, location known as Mordor, which is the land ruled by the head big evil guy and his army of countless minions known as Orcs. And you're in this land to, for all intents and purposes, wage a one-man war against the evil forces to save the lands of humans and other non-evil races from extinction and /or enslavement. Or at least that's kind of how it's supposed to go. At least that's how it did in the first one. In this one, you're still fighting that war, but in addition to that, you can actually build and maintain your own orc kingdom, taking lands from your opponents one by one as you proceed through the storyline. It's an interesting game. The one thing I like the most about it is the what's known as the Nemesis system, which you have select characters known as captains, which command the orc forces, but they are not scripted units. I mean, they have their own dialogue and their own likes and dislikes, but everything's procedurally generated. So one game you could fight an orc captain that is terrified of wasps, or is impervious to attacks from large mountain cats. And then in another playthrough, it's pretty much the exact opposite. Also, these captains are not static, so as you progress in the game, and not just in the storyline, I mean, just play through and you fight them, you get defeated, you defeat them, more rise in their place, and they also rise in ranks. They sometimes fight amongst themselves, and there's this whole pseudo social dynamic along with it. And in this game, as I said before, at least I'm fairly certain I said before, you're able to, I don't want to say convince them to join your side because it's more of a mind control coercion type setup, but you can have some or all of them join your forces and they fight your battles for you, alongside you. It gets kind of confusing. I should point out I only really played through Chapter 2 of this game, at least what passes for Chapter 2 of this game. But I digress. This game is, of course, made by... Thank you again. And, that being said, let us begin. Alright, so the story so far is basically what happened in the first game, I believe.
I had a family once. A wife.
This is beautiful.
And a son. And I buried them along with everyone I even knew. What has happened to me? Am I dead?
You are banished from death. Cast adrift between worlds of light and dark. We are bound together, Talion. My life and yours.
Who are you, Wraith?
I shaped the history of Middle-earth. I crafted the rings of power.
Celebrimbor, greatest smith of the Second Age. Sauron deceived you into making the rings. He tortured both you and your kin.
Perhaps that pain is what lets us.
I should have died with my family.
I thought you wanted revenge. But there is only one way to close the circle. To defeat Sauron.
The time has come for a new ring.
Alright, so this is the prologue, the new ring. Because for those not familiar with...
The world of men is ending. I have seen it. I have felt it. In the fires of Mount Doom, a ranger and a wraith, bound together in death, craft the one thing that could challenge the Dark Lord. A ring of power. Power can blind those who seek it, and even the strongest bonds can be broken. The future I have seen can't come to pass.
Celebrimbor.
Death calls to you again, Ranger. How do you answer?
With fire and steel. Oh wait, wrong game.
Talion, this is beautiful. Where did you find it?
I still have a few friends left in Gondor. What's wrong, my love?
The past is the past. Nothing can be changed.
We must leave this place. We can go. Now.
What's who knows? Wonder what it is.
Well, if that didn't alert everybody of your presence.
The Wraith calls to you. I call to you.
Wraith! Where are you? Talion. Talion.
I will find you.
No one will find you. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him.
Alright, so for anybody not familiar with the Lord of the Rings series, I'm sure there's more than that many people who have...
Need to keep quiet.
Alright, busy now.
These orcs are preparing for war.
Haven't had a decent meal in weeks. Spiders don't count. Carry the barrels here. Then they make us take the same barrels back there. What's in these barrels anyway?
So if anybody's unfamiliar with the Lord of the Rings, I'm sure there's more than that few people who are unfamiliar with the written series or even the movies. The whole premise is that there is an evil wizard known as J.R.R. Who crafted these magical objects which grant him power. Celebrimbor, the wraith we're looking for, helped him make said rings.
Did you hear? We must defeat her. Come, Talion. Free me. Heard something over here.
It is mostly a stealth game. Well, not most. There are quite a few stealth elements to the game. Given the fact that you're basically by yourself and you're trying to slaughter off an entire army of orcs.
It's a bloody talk! But if I kill you myself!
Okay.
Where you hiding, Shrock?
Good question.
The Ranger's a bigger coward than any mouse.
There we are. He's dead.
Have you seen what happens when Odon hits a pigskin with a warhammer? No, but I can imagine.
He. W.
On the wall!
And basically everything involves just comboing everything. Or at least until you get hit by somebody. I have to admit, timing was never my strong suit.
It's clear.
So, now that they're out of the way, we sprint.
What has been done to you?
You kept us waiting. You kept us waiting.
Free him!
Spider does not forfeit his prey, Ranger. Not unless a greater has set free. I called you here for a reason. I called you here.
You will return him to me. Now.
You are brave. For a man.
An undead man.
But it is not your sword that will save him. How much are you willing to sacrifice? To suffer. To suffer.
I have given up everything.
Not everything. Not yet.
You want the ring?
You would give me the ring for the wraith.
And find myself beside him in your bed.
I am Shelob, and I deal only in truth. I wouldn't
There's
give it
truth
up
and
either.
lies.
Wait. Take your price.
I'm impressed, Ranger. He must mean something to you. Go to your puppet before he dies.
You have doomed us, Talion. Her power was vast before, and now you have given her mine. And poured my life force into that ring.
That's your mistake.
Then we must take it back.
The war you came to fight is not here. The ring is lost. So look to Minas Ithil and the Dark Lord's armies that surround it. Look to the Palantir. Sauron will not stop until all of Middle-earth is dominated.
The Palantir must be protected. Ethel. I must know if Shelob's vision holds true.
I mean, personally, I always thought that Talion made the right choice there, given the fact that arguably it's not the ring that's keeping Talion what passes for alive. It's Celebrimbor himself and his magical energies. And when the two are combined, Talion has access to abilities he wouldn't have, mostly ethereal ranged attacks and all the fun that comes with those. Whereas with the ring, his powers are limited unless Celebrimbor is with him. So Act 1, Siege of Minas Ithil. And this is why in certain fantasy settings, humans have guns.
Spiders showed us the truth. Gondor's last fortress in Mordor cannot fall.
Well, then they should have guarded it better.
The Palantir is our concern. We must seize it before it falls into Sauron's hands. With it, his armies will be unstoppable. The fate of the city matters not.
I will not let them be slaughtered like my brothers at the Black Gate.
If the Black Gate was the only way in or out of Mordor, and this city...
Do something. Taking out the captain should buy the Gondorians some time.
And they could lead us to the Palantir. We must find a worm and make him talk.
So anyway, as I was saying, if
City in your grunt. Take the
this city is inside...
His mind is weak. What was that? Who leads the search for the Palantir?
Okay, so these are the captains. So the person we're interrogating right now, basically we're reading the mind of, knows information about one or more of the captains. These are all the captains. I believe the rows signify their rank, so the closer they are to the top of the screen, the higher the rank they are. This is slightly different than normal because the city in question, or the fortress in question in this region, is Minas Ithil, which is held by the humans. So the warlord or ruler of this region and his principal chieftains, as the game calls them in later chapters, are all human, and they're fighting against the captains you see on the lower screen, which are just jagged figures right now because we don't know who they are. By contrast, normally it would just filter up from captains to the chieftains and then the warlord. So we don't know who the captains are, so we seek intel to learn about them. So we learn about Bagga the Warden. He's a warmonger commander, and he is dazed by stealth attacks. So if we do a stealth attack against him, he is going to be weakened, and we're able to get in a couple extra attacks easily before he starts fighting back. Also, if they're lower enough level, certain attacks like stealth attacks or even execution attacks will actually outright kill them, whereas higher level ones don't have nearly as many weaknesses. And since this particular captain is a commander, he's always going to be surrounded by minions. And then we kill the
captain leading the search is in the lower city.
Then he will go no further.
Palantir, what do I know about seeing stones?
Doo-doo-doo.
Arrange it.
Alright, so
You bleed.
I don't remember the controls easily, but this one's also somebody who has information about a captain, so let's reveal Durz Crush. So he's terrified of poison, which means he'll flee. If you poison him, he'll just up and run. He's vulnerable to execution, which means he's heavily damaged by execution attacks, vulnerable to stealth attacks, and if you attack him with a beast, he's also vulnerable to that. He also is afraid of being on fire, and he can be injured by range attacks, fire, and poison. I believe he receives extra damage from. As for his strengths, he's a tank, which means he's more heavily armored than the others, and can withstand immense damage. He unleashes a wave of strength so powerful it pushes back and disorients nearby enemies. Every orc in this game is now part of a tribe, so his tribal bonus gives him... he can tackle and basically perform a maiming attack with massive claws, and he's also a frontline attacker, so he's more keen to actually just attacking you as opposed to hiding. And he also becomes enraged, at least angry, when you hit him with a stealth attack, which he is vulnerable to. Most of the orc captains in the lower ranks are usually vulnerable to most things, whereas the higher you go, the less vulnerabilities there are. What I generally like doing is making certain that I know as many of the captains as possible, because they roam around the map, and you can seek them out. You can also come across them accidentally, or they can start hunting you.
Someone sneaking.
So let's learn about Garl the Puny. So he's mortally flammable, which means if we light him on fire, he dies instantly. And if we attack him with a beast, he also dies instantly. He's also clumsy, which means he can be grabbed without first being weakened. He also is dazed when we attack him with a pinning attack, and dazed when we attack him with a large mountain cat. And again, damaged by range attack is execution and poison. He's a slayer, which means that he faces his enemies head on and tries to overpower them. He can attack 3 times in a row. He uses deadly curved blades in a series of quick and brutal strikes, and again he attacks from the front. He becomes angry when you jump over him, and he's also immune to stealth execution, so if we try to jump on top of him, he'll either dodge it or he'll block it, preventing us from killing him that way. You saw nothing. Come on, get up. Alright, so that didn't go as well. But you know, they can't raise the alarm if they're all dead. Alright, let's get out of here. I think I hit all the intel.
They really put up a fight for the middle city.
It doesn't matter. When the final assault hits them, they'll...
It's a Grey Walker!
I thought he was dead.
He is!
Talion, the bow.
And now we get ranged abilities. Alright, so hold left trigger to aim the bow, hold right to trigger for mass attack, release right to fire. A charge shot to the head is devastating. So we hold left and miss, because I can't aim. There we go.
Take him from the
Alright, so they're all dead.
It doesn't look good for the Gondorians. We have to help.
The Palantir is a powerful artifact. If we were to possess it,
We could turn the tide.
And now we know its trail. Oh look, more spectral arrows. Goody. Because, you know, I only have a quiver of 5, even though these arrows have no physical size. So if we shoot this thing, it catches everything on
To
fire.
target their captains. He's close.
the Wraith world will reveal his presence.
Alright, so we probably should not be doing this. It's a tutorial, so I'm gonna say we probably should not be doing this in the middle of the street, right in front of the door. But it's a tutorial, so we should be fine. And this is our target, Bag of the Warden. So we should just mountain goat up the side of this building.
It's called the Palantir, and it's why we're here. The city's just an obstacle between us and it. You find the Seeing Stone, you bring it directly to me. This is how we conquer Middle-earth, lads.
I feel like that Talion just simply seems to just jump on top of everybody. We should probably kill this guy. Alright, so now we need to defeat the Orc commander. And we're not close enough for a stealth attack, which he would be vulnerable to. So let's climb a little bit higher. And there we are. So, we jump down on top of him from like 3 stories up. And the fight ensues. And we have friends.
Never take our city.
Or, you know, a friend.
Manfilth! One man? Gondor should have sent more reinforcements. This is our city, Manfilth. You're too late. He's a cagey one. Ready?
I will avenge my brother.
You've no idea of my skills, range out. Destroy the town. Time for kill.
And now he's dead. And every captain that you kill gets you more gear, which is shiny new weapons and armor. So defeating captains allows Celebrimbor to forge powerful gear. You can manage your gear in the inventory menu. So equip gear to increase your power and enhance your abilities. Effects against more powerful captains result in higher quality gear. So basically it's a loot drop. So let's say to equip the new gear. So we picked up, I guess, the Sword of Dominion. Has a melee attack of 37, and once we get to level 15, or it gets to level 15, we need to recruit an orc that is 15 levels or higher to further increase the weapon's ability. I do like that his dagger is actually the broken sword, his son's broken sword. He just uses it to stab people. Alright, so now that that captain's dead, if we wait long enough, we'll actually get replaced.
Why are you out here alone?
My raiding party was trapped in the lower city overnight.
How many of you were there?
Not enough.
Minas Ethel still stands.
We're about to lose the middle city, Ranger. They'll be closing the gate if they haven't already. We need to get up there as fast as we can.
I'll be right behind you. Wait! What is your name?
Idril,
Talion.
don't fall behind, Talion. We've lost enough men today.
He likes her.
Do you hear that, Ranger? They're closing the gate.
Then let's cut a path up there.
Sergeant Tandor's going to need our help. Let's move.
Right behind you.
You die! We thought we were dead. I don't know who you are, but thank you.
I always miss an attack, and that breaks the combo. Like right there.
We'll need our support. We can't leave them out here. Better you die today. Come on, man.
This is just like Sheila's vision.
If Sauron's forces get to Palantir, all of Middle-earth will share the same fate.
Yes, I know she's getting too far. Give me a minute. Men need saving. I don't think she's going to be the one that's saving you.
Not looking good.
Hasn't looked good for weeks.
Of course, we need to rescue the sergeants.
Sergeant J.R.R. and his men are at the arena. We must aid them. I'll put you back in the dirt! Block the gate! Don't let us...
We've lost the middle city. Rally at the gate.
Keep on! We'll cover your retreat!
Okay.
Where are you going? Stay.
The middle city is falling! Push them back!
Join us. The gate is closing.
We'll be right behind you! You're my flesh! Have your men! Die, weakling! Get the big skin!
The middle city is lost.
Pull it back! Go! Go! Sergeant Daigle, we're pulling back. The middle city is lost. Not before we finish these filthy shrubs.
They're sealing the gate! Move out! Move out!
You miserable demons! Man flesh over there! Cut the ties!
Faster, Ranger!
We'll never take the city!
Quickly! Under the gate!
Get moving!
What are you doing?
I won't be long. Go.
Have the archers provide support.
Alright, so if we hold X until a glaive appears, then release perform a heavy sweep attack. And we need to defend the gate. Yeah, I don't think this is an attack you really want to use in front of people, even though the tutorial calls for it. And this is where we learn that we can drain the enemies for health.
We've lost the Middle City. We made them pay for every inch of ground, but they now hold it.
Then our fate will be decided here. Our inner wall is our strongest, and we have double their archer.
We cannot match the Orcs for their numbers or ferocity.
Now, our people have held back Sauron's forces before.
But some things were lost forever.
Yes, of course they were. Go to the Great Hall. Secure the relics.
My place is here.
Make sure they are taken to Hanathanon.
Is that an order?
You must understand. We must protect what is most precious
At
at
all
all.
costs.
Yes. That is an order.
Then I'll see it done. But I'll be back on the wall before the next assault.
The ranger from the Black Gate. I thought you were all dead. You have the truth. If you've come to fight for Minas Ithil, Ranger, report to Captain Baron.
Not come to join your army, General, but for the Palantir and its safekeeping.
Protect the city, and the Palantir will be safe. However, our raiding parties are targeting enemy captains in the lower city.
You were to spread terror in their ranks.
Yes. It's about time we tasted fear.
The men are assembled, General.
Here's what Talion does best. That and cake. Don't know about the cake. I prefer pie. Okay, so there's also an RPG element tied to the game, and we get skill points. So if we earned enough XP, we gain skill points, and they can be spent to unlock new skills or upgrade existing ones. Alright, so there's various disciplines. Combat is, of course, combat related. Predator is, I guess, hunting and attacking people. Ranged is range skills. Wraith is Calibrimbor's special abilities. Mounted is mounted combat, basically on top of various beasts. And the story ones are, well, storyline related, so as we progress through the story, we unlock those. But the tutorial wants us to unlock the Elven Agility skill, so we're going to do that.
We need to secure the Palantir now. The city is weak and it will not hold for much longer.
But we cannot leave the Gondorians to their fate. Castamir is right. By protecting the city, we protect the Palantir.
Look,
The towers bear his mark.
those were my towers once. Now Sauron's corruption spreads beyond the borders of Mordor. He mocks me.
They give him sight.
Not without the Palantir.
Alright, so we need to secure the Palantir, and we need to complete quests to prevent the Palantir from falling into Sauron's forces, Sauron's hands. And let's look at the map. So this is our next mission, the Eye of Sauron, and it's a tutorial about things. So, as I mentioned before, the various captains wander around doing various things you can come across. These missions are stuff that they do, so if they complete the mission, they gain experience and can even level up themselves, gaining new abilities and covering their own weaknesses. Whereas if they fail, well, die. And the little bars that you see, blocks you see under the icon, I believe are the time. So you can actually progress time through actions and various other things. And as you progress through the time, the marks dwindle. Once it gets to 0, the event occurs, and whatever happens, happens. Alright, so story quests are by this icon. We need to set the waypoint, which we just did.
We will dismantle his
Oh, there's also a phono mode. No thank you.
hold on Inesi.
We're busy. Go on.
We will shift the tide of war.
Yep, we go.
These Hydir are but dark imitations of the Palantir. But we can turn Sauron's low craft against him.
These towers can give us sight.
We will purify them and make them ours.
They also act as respawn points in case, well, you get taken out.
Here we see all that has been lost, and all that will be lost if his corruption is allowed to return.
So we can also find things like runes and other unlockables and knickknacks and keepsakes by doing this. We just basically gotta move around. So the big circle meets small circle. And we find a memory of the giant spider lady. We find an Ithulid, whatever that is. Come on. Where are you? There
The
we are.
city is built on the ruins of my kingdom, yet some things remain. Those are my bows, still hidden from Sauron's sight. There I will show you why we must retrieve my ring.
Alright, so now we have another quest. So the objective is we need to purify all Hadar, all 3 tower thingies. So we need to purify that one. And this one as well, I believe. They also act as fast travel points. I forgot to mention that because, well, I forgot to mention that. Moving on. You saw nothing. Grab that, and we can basically upgrade bonuses with well, our equipment with various bonuses. So we unlock the gem, and it does 10% increased damage. No, just this one. 5% extra chance that it drops for coin, I think it was. Yep, we go. That's one of our guys. Alright, now, I know that there was a worm around here. Yeah, there he is. Okay. What I really want to do is interrogate the worm. Go. Oh look, another captain. So, I don't know any, Gurok the Twisted, we found him. He becomes enraged when facing you alone. And, he's a marksman, which means he's a ranged unit. And he also has a crossbow, but we don't know his weaknesses because we haven't collected intel on him yet. But he's right there if we just wanted to up and attack him. So there was a worm here. And there's one over there. Let's interrogate him. Okay, so the captain that we just saw is actually one of the upper tier ones, so let's reveal intel about him because we know where he is. So he's heavily damaged by range attacks, and which is interesting considering he's a ranged unit. And he is also heavily damaged by executions, which I don't think we've unlocked yet. He also becomes dazed after killing another captain, I'm assuming within his eyesight, and he's damaged by the usual things. Okay. Let me blow up this guy's head. I was gonna say, and then there's other orcs around here. These guys clearly did not see me. But, their mistake. Did I leave somebody alive? Alright, that wasn't planned. But, let's just get up here. You saw nothing. Okay, fine, you see things. Alright, so this guy's an archer. Wrong button.
Like an executioner's blade. Did you hear that? Get an eye on it, club.
Come on. You saw nothing.
That filth. Get in. Forward to finding it. Come on. Above us here. Come back.
You could quickly become overwhelmed if you're not paying attention. Let's just get out of here.
Down, down.
Yep, we go. Or not.
Hey! The Nazgul have designs on you, it's true. But surely they wouldn't object if I kept a bit here and there for myself.
We just climb up, jump over here, get behind his troops, and start wailing on him. And we're low on health again. So now I have a last chance struggle, which means we have to press a random button within the circle, otherwise we die. If we succeed, we kill somebody and get back. Or at least fight somebody and get back. Going to shoot him from range. And he dies.
They lack the grace and precision of the elves, yet they persist in flinging arrows our way.
I don't mind, so long as they miss.
Alright, so let's just collect all the little goodies. And we now have a different bow. Does a little bit more damage, so we'll take it. We should probably figure out where to get more health, and we get it from new enemies, so means we should go hunting enemies. We should also probably go towards the objective. It is a distance away. Of course, that's what this archer is for, I guess. And now we have some health. Really shouldn't attack hordes of orcs on low health. Shouldn't really attack hordes of anything without an advantage, I guess. So up we go. I saw you here. Drain you. And now we have what's passes for full health. For now. Yep, we go. We can apparently poison barrels. Oh look, we can get more intel from this guy. If we can get to him. There we are. Alright, so one of the first things I like doing is making certain I know everything about every captain. So let's just go with the bottom up. So we have Pug the Tongue, who dies instantly if we can light him on fire. He's also clumsy and sickly, so he's heavily damaged by poison. He's also terrified of poison. He's a Mystic Blade, though, which means he uses the power of Shadow to appear next to you and strikes with a deadly Morgul Blade. He's also armed with a crossbow, which means he's a ranged unit, and becomes ranged when seeing Caragors, which are the mountain cats, and he's also immune to ranged attacks, unlike the other guy. The one who we just killed. And we now purify the second tower. And now we find more things. At least we tried to. That's very distant from here. But okay. We now have new quests. But we should probably focus again on the J.R.R. And this one's over 1,500 feet away.
Man swine! They say scars make no rook proud. Me, they just make me itch. Time to scratch it. This gob is some pain. I got your concentration. I hate you. Clear off, you useless!
Oh, so they can come back to life, apparently. Forgot to mention that. But as you saw, they die just as quickly as they used to. Fine. Not the guy who has intel. Let's just kill everybody else.
Got him! Break his arms!
Okay, so now we leave. Now we heal. Now we kick him off. And him. And they're now all dead. Or not. Somebody's over there. I'm only at half health. So let's take his. Hello. Yeah, I can fight them easily enough one-on-one. It's when I get outnumbered that's the problem.
That pigskin is long gone.
Sure. Over here. And now you die. Goodbye. I was there. No, I'm not. Up we go. Okay, so now that mark there, that's a Karagor. Couldn't pronounce it for a quick minute. Basically a large mountain cat. They're trained and used for battle by the Orcs, but they're not exactly allied with them. In fact, if you were to, say, break open this cage, just as likely to... So, new enemy Karagors. Karagors are fearsome predators that pounce on and quickly shred their prey. Their deadly jaws protect them from frontal assaults, use their bow to defeat them at a distance or evade their attacks and strike from the side. So if there were, say, Orcs nearby, they would probably attack the Orcs. If there aren't any Orcs, which I don't think there actually are, this one will probably just attack me. So let's run like a crazy person. That was one of ours. Oops, sorry. Did not see him there.
Do you hear the explosion now?
I did not mean to stealth kill him.
We can't be faster than that!
Okay, fine. You get 7 coin for that.
Come on! I've hunted all manner of beasts across these lands, but today I will spear a human.
Okay, so hunters. Hunters keep their distance attack by throwing spears. They are weak to close combat. Press A to dodge spears. So this is another captain. As I said before, they will actually sometimes seek you out. And he's quite a nimble one, too. That was close. I'm fairly certain I pressed the wrong button. Or I thought I pressed the wrong button.
You want to be tinder? Stay away from the fire!
Alright, that's enough out here. We pick up a new dagger. I think the gear you get is actually dependent upon how you kill them. So, like, for instance, the first one I killed just in regular combat, so I got a sword. The second one that I killed was, I shot with a bow, so I got a bow. Third one that I killed was basically the first guy come back, so return of the first guy. And I think I got a piece of armor off of that. And this time I killed him using an execution attack, so I got a dagger. Come on, get up. Up we go. There we are. This is now mine. Another spider lady memory. And more trinkets, I think those things are. And we gained another skill point. And we purified all the towers in the region. So that's an unknown captain there. Apparently there's quite a bit of intel nearby. But we now have 2 skill points to play with, so we have a bunch of skills we can get. We can get execution. I don't think I can actually get, say, perfect counter until I get execution, which when your might is full, aim at an enemy with L and then press YB to execute him. Which is basically a fast way of killing people. And then we have range, which allows us to shadow strike into a fire pit, causing it to explode. We have Wrath, which is to press left trigger to throw a dagger that damages an enemy and staggers enemies. And then we have the ability to dominate and ride Broken Karagor, which is the mountain cat. And then we have various story upgrades. So what I'm going to do is, because I like having the ability to execute people, we'll get that one. And then each one has a couple subcategories, I guess, which, so we have the ability to upgrade to Grim Resolve, where we gain might each time we're damaged in combat. And then we have, the other two are locked by level. Let's actually go with the dagger one, because that could be useful. And all of its sub-skills are locked by level as well. If we look at inventory, we get a slightly better dagger. And we get a better cloak, which triples our stealth skill. And we didn't actually get any new armor yet, so there's that. So we look at the army, we managed to... Yeah, so the body for this captain is empty because he's disappeared. And the one for this archer got replaced by a different orc. So we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We still have 4 orcs on the lower tier we don't know about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 orcs on the middle tier that we don't know about, and then 4 orcs on the third tier that we don't know about, and then the chieftain tier is the Gondorian sergeants, and then the warlord tier is General Castamere. We don't really need to worry about these guys. So yeah, is that also, when you see a red line, that means that they're in... one captain is reinforcing a different captain on their mission. They can also be in competition with one another as well. So I guess both of these are reinforcing this captain. So if we were to, say, target this captain, probably in the mission that he's performing, we'll probably run into these two as well. So if we were skilled enough and confident enough in our skills, we could go hunting this guy, fight all 3 of them, and take them all out all at once. Oh, there's also a world map. But this isn't really all that important right now. It will be later. So we have, we can discover Celebrimbor's ancient storehouse and explore the memories of his past struggles against with Sauron. And we get the Elven Range skill once we complete it.
I can show you how to conquer Mordor.
As long as it keeps Gondor safe.
Alright, so successful attacks gain might, execution, consume, mighty shot, and elven might are powerful attacks, powerful might to use. Earn skill points to unlock additional abilities. Getting hit or missing your attacks reduces might. Oh, look, it's actually a captain.
I don't usually introduce myself, but I want you to understand something. I am not your nemesis. I am a highly skilled orc who has been paid a staggering amount to separate your head from your body.
Let's be honest, we ran into each other. Don't confuse the issue. Oh, please, they're trying to hide into the wall. Should probably turn around to see my target. And there we go. He's dead. Anybody else? And we get a new set of armor. Meantime, let's run like a mad crazy person. Because we're at less than half health. And I'd prefer not to accidentally run into a captain like that. Again. I didn't need to do that to that one, but works for me, I guess. Just grab some arrows, get off the statue. And also poison a nearby barrel. Where the poison comes from, I don't know, but we can, if we want to. Anybody nearby? Technically, yes, actually. Let's just get our health back. As we lose probably about as much health as we gain. Alright, now that J.R.R is free, starts attacking the Orcs. And there's a captain down there, I think. Captain somewhere down there. So I think that's what the white skull means. Anyway, we got a borrowed grid to get to. There's a worm nearby. There's a captain, Horza the Backbiter, Feral Commander. He's immune to execution, so we can't use executions against him. I mean, we could, but it'd be a waste of ability.
This place. I fought here ages ago.
Seems quieter now.
Alright, so let's start this quest. Discover Celebrimbor's ancient storehouse and explore the memories of his past struggles with Sauron. You get the Elven Rage skill as a reward. Let's find the burrow.
If anywhere in Mordor is safe from Sauron, it is barrows like these. The Reminders that even the Dark Lord's reach extends only so far.
So we enter Wraith mode and to find the Burrow door, which is here. Then we enter the ancient crypt because that's what burrows actually are.
In a bygone age, my army marched on Mordor. We buried our honored dead in battles like this one. Our greatest warriors are preserved here, protected by powerful magic. And we used all our arts to bring the virtues of the elves with us as we marched.
And you had the One Ring.
Yes. And with it I forged an army. I led the charge against Sauron.
So kill enemies to gain wrath. Wrath is full. Press left and right to enter Elven Rage. During Elven Rage, tap X or B to rapidly kill grunt orcs. Aim at an enemy captain with the left bad thingy. Hold X, deal massive damage to them. Illuminate Might and Elf Shot for the duration of Elven Rage.
Sauron revealed his betrayal. I took up arms against him. In my wrath, I was determined to punish him for his treachery.
Okay, that clearly didn't work. Of course, I'm confusing Might with Wrath.
The new ring, our ring, is not marred with his shadow. It is perfect.
And there we go, mission complete. We unleashed the power of the ring, defeated 10 enemies while in Elven Rage, and we reached full wrath before the time ran out. Did not actually expect to get any of those, outside of the base one. So, Shadows of the Past. Live the history of the First War of Mordor between Celebrimbor and the Dark Lord by completing Shadows of the Past missions, which I'm guessing is what we just did. The All mission grants the Bright Lord's Rune, perfecting all the mission grants the Bright Lord's Hammer.
The ring is lost for now, but we can still secure the Palantir.
Then we will go to the Great Hall. Idril is there. She may be able to help us.
And we get another skill point. So options are Elven Light because we have the Brace of Daggers. Again, Detonate. Brutalize, which if we hold the right trigger and Y, we can perform a terrifying stealth attack, which causes nearby enemies to flee when increasing both your might and hit streak, which is always fun. And then we have Perfect Counter, where a well-timed counters knock down enemies, and press Y when the prompt flashes blue. But we should probably get Detonate. Just simply because it's base level skill. I mean, I guess we could have technically mounted a Karagor, but that's another issue for another time. Oh look, a Karagor. That could be fun. Or not. Yes, I could have mounted that Karagor, but I didn't, because A, I don't have the skill, and B, I shot it in the head multiple times until it died. So, next mission has us going back to... So the next quest is the Seeing Stone, where we have to find the Palantir before the city falls. So we can complete that, but that's going to be another issue for another day, because I'm going to call it here.
Everybody stay safe from the plague, and have a good day.
You! I remember getting this scar. Let me show you how it felt.
Can we not? You know what? Fine, let's just kill him again.
Snap you like a twig.
Oh, he's Arab.
Take this!
Can we just like kick him off this thing?
Just off. You can't pretty well hurt me. Bleed.
Always calling for aid. What orcs lack in cunning, they make up for in numbers.
Well, those numbers are a little smaller today.